All right, so a few videos back, I did a beat breakdown of a trap soul beat I made, and a lot of you guys said you like that type of content, where occasionally instead of making the full beat in the video, I break down like previous beats that I've made. So this is continuing that series on a beat that I made that only contained 3 things, which was a guitar, a harp, and a flute, and it came out crazy, and then I threw some drums over it, so I want to break that down today, so let's get into it. All right, so of course, first off, I gotta let you hear the beat. And the number one thing I really like about this beat is how simple it is. Like, there's not many things in it, but it sounds kind of complex. At least melody wise, it kind of sounds like there's a lot going on. And I'm using a harp, which has honestly become one of my favorite things to use for beat making. So the first thing that I'm going to kind of break down is like this sample that I have. So that contains a guitar, a harp, and then a flute. It's this harp right here. You can find it, I believe, in the factory library, strings, and then harp right here. It sounds so good. They just sound so good. But anyways, let's get into it. So I want to break down the guitar part first off. All right, so for the guitar, this is what we have. So it looks pretty advanced, but it's actually pretty simple. There's just a few chords that get played, and I'm gonna bring this over here and kind of structure it out, show you how I did it. So if we bring this in like this, all it is a couple chords, like I said. So let me go ahead and just kind of quantize this. So this is the chord progression. Right, so it's nothing crazy. Once I back this off, you can see just the first and third chord of each one get a strum to it, and I kind of made it like an offbeat strum, especially with this note right here. Put the metronome on. And then after that, it was just little bits of velocity moves. Like the first note, I put a little bit more velocity so that that first strike kind of has more power to it, kind of make it feel more real. This one is a bit too off, but I liked how it sounded, so I kept it. And then from there, what I did was add this top melody. So if I paste that in, it sounds like this. And let me go ahead and take the chords out for right now so we can just hear the melody. So what you hear going on here is just a couple notes, and then I have like this little triplet that runs, and you'll see the velocities kind of raise up. They differ over here compared to here. If you look, it's a little bit different, right? So these two parts, even the velocity changes are a little bit different. So we get the first half played the same, right? But the velocities, obviously you can see, are different. And then the second half gets a couple more added notes that you see right here to kind of switch it up, and it just gives us some variation, makes it sound better, and then altogether it sounds pretty nice. So from here, the next thing I have is this harp going. It only consists of these notes, and then I kind of just played like a jumpy, bouncy melody of just those 5 notes. And then I did have a flute in here, but I guess when I consolidated the guitar, I probably changed the key, so I didn't keep the flute. I don't know where the flute went. I mean, you could hear there's a little flute in the back. Right? I'll show you what I used. And it's this flute from Contact. You can lock in the key, and it'll actually play chords. And I think I played something like that. You could kind of hear it in the background, right? But it's a little bit of a different tone. So that's a real cool flute you can use. Like I said, you can come over here to the key, choose the key, the scale. You can have it play chords. You can have it play different variations, you know, so reverb. So it's real cool. It's a flute inside of the factory library as well. It's in orchestral woodwinds, I think. And then, yeah, flute right here. And it'll bring this one up. And like I said, you could set the key, the scale, and then different types of chords, and it'll actually play it out. So that's the last thing I added to it. And then effects wise, we just have like a reverse 808 and then an effect that goes into it. So when we go into the drums, it drops in like this. just a nice 808 pattern, some hi-hats with a few rolls, nothing crazy. And we're really just focusing on these melodies. And then the last thing I want to go over is like the processing for the guitar. So that got ran into a little bit of EQ, took out some mid-range, added a little bit of high end to it to kind of get those strings to pop out. And then it went into some Kramer tape with a little bit of wow and flutter, which does this to it. Right? Didn't want to do too much. And then into S1 and kind of widen it out. So really nothing crazy because it already sounded pretty good. And the harp guitar together with a little bit of flute, it just sounds so perfect. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like this video, leave a thumbs up. You guys can follow me on all social medias at Lifestyle Did It. Make sure to hit my site, lifestyledidit.com, for everything else. Other than that, subscribe to your boy, push notifications. Thanks.